A lot of people have the misconception that it is expensive, right? To be able to do oils and stuff like that, or to utilize different kind of holistic approaches. And I get that because I think I had that misconception too. So maybe you want to speak a little bit to why people believe that and, things of that sort. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I am your host, Jax or Jacqueline Crider. And today we have Miss Cindy Cowan joining us. And Miss Cindy Cowan, she deals in the holistic space. She is really passionate about doing things with different kinds of oils and things like that. And a lot of people, of course, make the common misconception that this is crazy expensive. That's not something that they can afford. And we're going to kind of dispel that myth and talk a little bit about ways that you can kind of better your health and maybe not do it so expensively. So I kind of let her introduce herself and maybe tell you guys a little bit about her story, about why she's passionate about that, etc. So welcome, Cindy.
Hi, thank you, Jax, for having me. I appreciate that. I am Cindy Cowan. I have been in the holistic industry since 2016, first as a customer, and started using the product. And then I flipped the switch in 2017 and decided to share and make it a business. I enjoy just, anything having to do with nature and science. It just makes sense to me. And when I started the path with holistic solutions, I had an issue with allergies. And so I reached out to a friend because actually Western medicine made me sicker. And it was just not resolving the issues. And I'd met a new friend and she introduced them to me. And my first purchase was lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And I have not looked back at all. So I enjoy sharing. I'm excited about it.
My first purchase from you too, because my allergies are atrocious. Anybody who lives in Texas probably knows that if you have allergy issues, man, they're bad.
Well, they're not going to go away. There's just no way that it's just part of Mother Nature and where we live. There's also pollution we can't always control, and the winds. The winds bring in stuff from other parts of the country, so it's a battle.
Yes, for sure it is a battle. But yeah, I think a lot of people have that misconception, and I apologize, my dogs are going gangbusters in the background, y'all. A lot of people have the misconception that it is expensive, right? To be able to do oils and stuff like that, or to utilize different kind of holistic approaches. And I get that because I think I had that misconception too. So maybe you want to speak a little bit to why people believe that and, things of that sort.
Right. So we don't know any better until we're educated. And so once I had spent a lot of money and plus doctor visits, all those things, and got introduced to the natural products, I bought those 3 oils and started to use them. And I stopped needing to buy or go to the doctor, those prescriptions, over the counter prescriptions, going to the doctor. I never had another sinus infection. I haven't had one since 2016. And that's amazing because I would get them religiously every year. And it would be pretty bad to where you'd have to go into the doctor and get antibiotics and that kind of thing. And the more I got into the business and I would learn, I'm still learning. I learn something new all the time. But when it got down to the point where I'm like, oh, well, let's check out the pricing, a couple of years ago. Oh my gosh. So for people who don't know, or maybe they do know, a bottle of essential oil is a 15 ml bottle. And in that bottle are 250 drops. So an example would be peppermint is 10 cents a drop. Okay. 10 cents a drop. So 250 drops, that's a lot to use. And when I can, I just saved so much money. It just made sense. I also realized that I was avoiding all the warnings on the labels from the over-the-counter products and prescriptions, all the side effects. So I wasn't having that problem either, which was fantastic. And then different oils, have different purposes. And so, I bought lavender and lemon. Of course, that was part of my new holistic medicine cabinet. Is the oils have multiple purposes. So yes, they're for healing the body, but they're also, for cleansing your organs also. and they're great for cooking. You can cook with,
Mhm.
you can put a drop of peppermint into a batter of a brownie mix or a cake mix and give it that unique flavor. The company that I'm with, doTERRA, their oils are 100% pure, and they're tested by independent, laboratories. They're 100% therapeutic grade oil, and they come from their indigenous countries. I love the fact that frankincense comes from Africa. That's where it's indigenous from. The
Right.
soil and the climate makes the difference. Their lavender comes from Spain. It's just amazing. That's the science part of me. The biology science part is, it comes from where it needs to come all over the world. And it's just, the oils, are marked that they can be used, whether you can smell them aromatically, put them on your skin topically or internally. And peppermint's one of those, if you want to put smell the bottle, that can help with the headache. People don't realize that you just smell it and just, slowly inhale and keep it in. Lavender is another good one. Just to inhale, it's calming. It's also healing. My husband is a chef, and when he would come home with these, kind of second degree burns, I would put the lavender on it and it would take the sting away, the hurt away, and heal pretty quickly. And better than using other products.
Well, I
So,
was gonna say that's what people I think don't realize is that if you really look and drill down like your budget, you spend a
mhm,
lot of money usually on different kinds of medicines, right? And as a society, I think we've gotten very
mhm,
used to just popping another pill in your mouth. But if you really dig down and you look at like the ingredient list, they're kind of terrifying. All the
mhm,
random stuff. Like I got very, very sick back in, oh gosh, I'm trying to think what year that was, 11 or 12, something like that. And they could not figure out what was wrong with me, could not figure out what was wrong with me. All these doctors wanted to give me all these different pills, like very heavy narcotic type pills and stuff like that. And I was like, no, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Finally, I went to a holistic doctor and come to find out I had an abundance of candida in my blood. So, for those of you who don't know, candida is basically yeast, right? We all have it naturally occurring, and that's fine, but when you get to a point where there's so much, it makes you like
mhm,
super lethargic. It gives you all these kinds of problems. And that was in my bloodstream. And that was like really like making me super sluggish. I was having major issues sleeping. There was like all kinds of problems. Well, come to find out, a lot of that was because of the fact that I was taking very frequent medicines for like allergies, birth controls, all these things. They have all this extra ingredients that
yeah,
was the candida was feeding on, and so that was increasing it in my bloodstream, and that was like kind of dragging me down. I mean, I spent, golly,
yeah,
hundreds of dollars, probably thousands of dollars, then having to write that. So it's like not only was I spending a ton of money on the medicine itself to fix the topical issues that I had,
mhm,
but then I also was spending a ton of money to then fix a problem that all that extra junk created. And so I think a lot of times when people are thinking about money, they're like, okay, yeah, yeah, Jacqueline, this talk about, aromatherapy and holistic related oils and stuff like that, is that really related to money? But it is. Like when you think about it in a broad perspective like that, you forget that what you're putting into your body is affecting you financially in lots of ways,
mhm,
not just the amount of money that you spent on the actual thing you put into your body, the health consultation or doctor that visit that you went to do,
mhm,
and then also the potential effects, like, when I'm sluggish, I'm not performing as well, right? Which is not allowing me to be as good at making money and or performing in my home. So then other people are having to pick up that slack. Like this is all financially related and tied, just
mhm.
maybe not in the traditional sense.
Oh, for sure.
So
You hit all the points. You hit them all
I mean,
because
well, no, because I've
yeah.
dealt with it. I mean, it's why you and I.
Mhm,
So just to give you some background and perspective of how Cindy and I got, kind of related. So I actually did allergy shots for a while because I wanted something that was a more permanent solution for my allergies that didn't involve a constant medicine. And
mhm.
basically, if you ever talk to my allergist, what my allergist would tell you is if it grows outside, I'm pretty much freaking allergic to it. Okay, like
Oh,
doesn't matter
no.
what it is, if it's a tree or a flower or a plant or grass, it doesn't matter. I'm
Yeah.
allergic to it. And when they do that little like prick test on your back, all my
Mhm,
grass ones join into like a giant super whelp. which is super fun for me. So I'm super allergic to grass. And I was like, Cindy, I've got to figure out, I don't want to go back and get allergy shots because anybody who's ever dealt with allergy shots knows they're really expensive. Two, you have to do them really frequently. And then you get to like a maintenance period, but you still have to go in like once or twice a month constantly to get these done. And it is very expensive and it's very time consuming. It's not just the cost of the actual shots. It's also like taking the time out of work or out of your schedule to go drive yourself to the allergist to get the shot, like all the things. It's a lot. Like, I don't know. Have you ever dealt with allergy shots at all, Cindy?
Not allergy shots. So when I first got exposed to, natural solutions, I was on the medication part. So going to the doctor, having to get the antibiotics, all that things, plus over the counter medication. Back then it was, you had to get a prescription for Flonase. So, it's been a while.
Before it became out. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I woke up one morning. It is very expensive. And I woke up one morning with severe cotton mouth. And not everybody knows what cotton mouth is. They associate it with drinking too much. Well, it wasn't drinking. All the medication it dries you out. And my tongue, you could see all the little the bumps on my, your taste buds. They were poking out. It felt like like large grid sandpaper in my mouth. Ugh. And I couldn't drink enough water to get rid of the dryness. And that's when I called my friend, my new friend, like, can you help me? And she's like, those are the 3 you need to order. And I did what she recommended, is I put 1 to 2 drops of each oil, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, into a little glass of water. And you slowly swish it around your mouth and it absorbs into your cheeks, into your sinuses. And the next day, all the bumps were gone. I started to get relief. The sinus pressure was dissipating. And then day 2, I felt amazing. So it's a thing. Also, a lot of people don't realize the consistent use of a lot of shots, drugs, can over time be damaging to your organs.
Yeah. Sure.
I had that issue at one point in time in my life with my rheumatoid arthritis, because I had to get it under control. And like, oh, you have a low functioning kidney. From what? Oh, this particular shot. Oh, what do I do? Oh, just take 1 less pill. No, it didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And just a little switch, as my Labrador Retriever has allergies. He can go outside. I have no idea what's in the air, what pollen or what wind. Sure. And he comes in doing nosedives into the carpet because his nose itches and his eyes are pink. And so I give him, it's in a capsule. It's lemon, lavender, peppermint in a soft gel capsule. He gets that in a little piece of deli meat. And that's how I keep him, because you can't get rid of what's in the air. You can't, or whether you're allergic, you just can't. And so that's another thing that I'm proud to know about, is using essential oils for animals. And so it is possible to heal everybody.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Hello, and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 46937331007 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins. Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, your go-to podcast for making smart money decisions. We break down complex financial topics into easy-to-understand advice you can use every day. Our experts cover everything from budgeting and saving to investing and retirement planning. We give you the tools to take control of your money and build the future you want. With Financial Mastery Simplified, you'll feel informed and empowered to make the best choices for your financial health. Tune in to Financial Mastery Simplified on your favorite podcast platform. Start your journey to financial confidence today.
Now back to our conversation.
Yeah, well, and I was going to tell you, so as I was explaining, I had not been doing shots for several years. And the good news is my shots did last for quite some time. It was a better solution for me than taking pills. To give you some perspective, when I don't have shots, what my allergist recommends me taking is Claritin, Zyrtec, and sometimes Benadryl, as well as a localized nasal steroid. And if I'm on a red day, then they also recommend me taking a beta blocker because beta blockers also block histamine. So if you can imagine how many medicines they recommend me taking into myself just to be able to breathe. And my allergies are so severe that especially if I have a high level of stress with my allergies, I will start going into anaphylaxis. So will I stop completely breathing? No, but I will be labored breathing. I will be coughing. My throat will be itching. It's miserable. And I can tell you, and I'm ADHD, so I forget sometimes to do my oils routine, but they sit on my desk, so I don't forget about them. They're literally on my desk, so I can't forget. But I will tell you, they don't taste particularly great, but I have done exactly what Cindy did, which I put them in the thing and I switched them around. But what I will tell you is it's choose your heart. She's right. You do feel better, dang near instantaneous. And if I'm only feeling a light bit of allergies and I haven't switched it around yet, if I diffuse lemon essential oil, I feel almost instantly better too. Right.
That's
and so
awesome.
I remind people that a lot of times, you just don't think about all of that aspect. Right. There's so many different pieces where, again, it's about the money, right? One, because think about how much money I myself spent on allergy medicine. It's crazy. Right. And then number two, it's also because I feel so much better, just doing that versus, so anyway.
Did you feel like you were sleepy or had brain fog during that time of your life?
Yeah, so my allergies, I'm blessed in that, Benadryl will knock most people out. It usually doesn't knock me out. I think it's
Oh,
the
wow.
ADHD in me. A lot of medicines, that's the other issue that I have, and maybe other people don't have that problem, but a lot of medicines that they try to issue to me, I metabolize them really weird because I am ADHD. And so they have opposite effects on me. And
Oh,
so
wow.
people expect one effect, like Benadryl usually puts people to sleep and doesn't do anything. Vicodin, which is now it's whatever that's called a category 3 controlled substance or whatever.
Yeah.
Back when it was not that, and I was prescribed it for pain because I deal with kidney stones, and also some pretty severe period cramps. And so those two things, if I take a Vicodin, most time people can take a half a Vicodin and it'll knock them out. I could take 2 and still drive a car. So I'm
Oh
just
my
weird.
gosh.
Yeah, I'm just weird. The way that I affect medicine. And that was the other reason I started looking for other solutions was
Yeah.
not just cost and not just those kind of things, which obviously that is, the purpose of Financial Mastery Simplified is trying to help people realize that they can live the life that they want and make the choices that they want. And it doesn't necessarily have to cost them an arm and a leg if they are strategic and smart about it. Right.
Exactly.
And that's obviously the point. But for me too, it was also just not being so freaking miserable and like things not working right on me. Right.
Mhm.
And so spending either a fortune continuing to go to all of these Western medicine doctors that keep saying the same dang thing and just want to give me another pill for the problem, which is not helping at all. Or
Yeah.
that was one choice, or I could try to seek some more natural roots. And like, I don't know if you've ever done any research on this, but like in other countries, they're actually injecting essential oils like into tumors and stuff like that. And it's actually like curing cancer and stuff like that. And there are people in the States who are actually going to other countries seeking treatments like this because they're not legal in the United States. So I'm sure it's because I'm sure it's
I've heard
because
it, but as the place that I work for, we're not allowed to say
yeah.
certain things. You
Understood.
can
No,
say
and I'll
it.
say it. I'll say it. Well, no, but big pharma is has a very big lobby in the United States,
Mhm.
and so they really do. And so, I mean, I think America is literally the greatest country in the world. I do believe that.
Yeah.
But with capitalism does come some negativity, and the negativity is that big dollars speak. And so, if big, pharma is like taking all that money and pouring that into lobbies to try to keep, you know, um, things like essential oils
Mhm.
from doing some of the good that they could do because it's not as profitable. I mean, that is one of the knocks to capitalism. Let's just be real, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a realist, so I'm going to talk about the good and the bad. Like, I think America's amazing, but there's some negative to it too, right? Like that's the rub, if you will.
It is what it is, but people like myself and even you're a walking testimony, obviously, is that you share with people, when they're frustrated with, you know, obviously the money part, there's no doubt about that. And things here right now are getting more and more expensive and we're running out of money. Do I
Right.
buy groceries or do I buy my medication? you know our older generation, like my father, he will not take a pill. He would rather have some milk and some bread, and it shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have to make a choice.
Sure.
um, a bottle of essential oil can last many, many, many months, and it doesn't expire. It has a longer shelf life. Every bottle is marked with the expiration date. I have yet to have come across one that I use them enough for multiple things besides health, emotional wellness, health, and household, whatever, or diffusing. I've never had one expire, which is good. But it's just so important to educate and share with others the positiveness. These
Yeah.
oils came from plants and shrubs and trees, and they're here for a reason. The earth grows them, right? They're good for us. Think about the
Right.
cave people and the people that still use them in their countries that don't have access to Western medicine. They are using herbs to help them, heal, and their lifespan is a lot longer. They can live up to 100 because they live off the land totally 100%.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, and I know you know Eileen McDonald, and she likely is going to
Mhm.
come on the podcast as well, and we're going to talk a little bit about breathing. People don't realize that your body is actually really in tune to be able to heal itself in a lot of
Mhm.
respects, especially if given those extra boosts like the essential oils and things like that. And
Right.
so, obviously, if there are certain things that Western medicine is maybe one of the only things that can fix it, and that's fine. And we're not suggesting to
Right.
you, please, by all means, don't think that I'm suggesting that if you have to take a pill that helps regulate your heart rate, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know of any essential oil to date that does that kind of a thing. So we're not telling
Right.
you, hey, just stop taking your heart pill and do essential oils instead and you'll be fine,
Right.
right? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there are sometimes some alternatives that you haven't considered because you've been very
Right.
conditioned to believe certain things that those are the only way or whatever, right? And so
Right.
sometimes you need to kind
Correct.
of peel yourself outside of your box and consider them. And look, if you try something different and it's not what necessarily works and you want to go back to the old way, there's no shame in that. And if pills are just better for you and easier for you and that's really what you want to do, then find other ways to save money. Like one of my
Mhm.
hacks for saving money on allergy medicine when I'm actually physically taking it is having a Costco or Sam's Club membership because they sell a
Yeah.
bottle of the generic version of Claritin and Zyrtec that is like 365 pills for like $15. If you go to the
Yeah.
regular CVS, if you go to even just regular Walmart and buy a bottle of Claritin or Zyrtec, even if it's generic version, it'll be about
Mhm.
60 pills and it'll be about $15. So you do the math on 365 pills for roughly the same amount as what you're getting like 60 pills for, right? So, I mean,
Right.
again, I'm pro like trying to be more natural and things like that. I always say that I'm realistically crunchy. And what I mean by that is I I believe that a crunchy lifestyle is good in a lot of respects, but I'm also a realist. So sometimes if taking a pill is easier because I'm on the go and I don't have my essential oils with me to be able to do, then yeah, I'm going to take the pill because I'm a realist. And that's just, I need the relief. So it is what it is. But then on the same token, like I said, just pull yourself out of your box and think big picture on some other ways that you can creatively benefit yourself, both financially on the money
Mhm.
side and then also from a health perspective, because it will help you to have more money, right? If you're feeling healthy,
Mhm.
if you're feeling better, you're able to do more things, you're able to be more productive, you're able to do, live out your full purpose in life. And ultimately, that's ultimately why I created this podcast. And what my ultimate goal in life is like, hey, I firmly believe you can do life however you want, and that's amazing. This is America. We have the right to make good and bad decisions, but go in eyes wide open. Whatever decision you make, go in eyes wide open. Like I
Mhm.
know if I take that pill, I'm probably going to be a little more sluggish, like you said, Cindy. Right? Like that's
Yeah.
reality. But guess what? I'm going in eyes wide open. Like I know that, and so for better for worse, I realize that.
Yeah. Well, we've got the freedom to make our choices. And that's how it should be. You
Yep.
choose how you want to live your life. I love Costco. I mean, you can get big containers of coconut oil
Yeah.
and avocado
There's a
oil. I
lot of
love
great
that
stuff
stuff.
that Costco sells really, really reasonable, truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a favorite place of mine to go to. Sometimes I spend too much money, but you know what? It lasts forever, which is a good thing. And I just, I love everything that you said. It just makes sense. And I'm also working on, doing more education I'm working on my YouTube channel, but, you talked about traveling. And so I now have, or I have been using rollers. So the little roller
Nice.
balls are great for traveling. And I've got my husband hooked on Digestive Zen, which is a stomach blend, right? Because he gets acid reflux, as you get older, right? You can eat that Spanish food or Italian food, all the spices. And he's like, "Can I have some Digest Zen?" Yep. Because we were at that time, we were Sam's Club members in Fort Worth, and there was no Costco yet.
Right.
And we were buying the dual pack of Zantac, and popping it like candy, both of us. And then, of course, more information was coming out about certain products, and if you take too much, it could cause issues. And
Yeah.
so, when I got the opportunity to try Digest Zen, and peppermint works too. Digest Zen has peppermint and other oils to help, like ginger, to help with acid reflux, upset stomach, especially when you travel too. And it's just, don't use anything else. It's amazing.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that part of the reason we're having the problem we're having with acid reflux is due to the amount of acidity in our general food, even sometimes in water. If you guys have ever
Yeah.
looked, even different bottled water have different acidity levels, and
Hmm.
it jacks with the pH in your body. And when your body stays in a very acidic state for long periods, it is really, really bad for your overall health. And yes, I'm an Uber nerd. Even though I work in the financial space, I'm always like nerding out, trying to figure out like, why is this happening? Like, in fact, I joke, and I probably am in the process of I'm gonna write this book called Ask the Question, because literally from the time I've been 2 years old and on, I'm always like, but why? But why is that? And how
Yeah.
does that work? And why? Because the truth of the matter is like a lot of people just don't realize that. And yeah, I mean, it creates huge problems. It creates huge issues. And so it's awesome that there's, something that you guys have that will help neutralize some of that. But the truth is also we have to do a better job as a society of like reducing that acidity in our diet so that we don't keep our body in a constant state of inflammation, because that constant state of inflammation creates bigger problems down the path or whatever. Like, I'll never forget, I had a boss one time, and she would tell me, every time you go on vacation, you get sick. And I was like, nuh-uh. And she's like, yeah, every time you go on vacation, you get sick. And I started like tracking it, and she was right. And I realized that what happens is like we keep our bodies in a state of stress like this. And so then when we go on vacation, we allow our bodies to kind of relax and like take a breath. And when that happens, that's when this stuff starts popping up,
Oh,
like
yeah.
illness, because we haven't allowed ourselves, like, because America, like, we run 90 miles a minute, right? Like,
Mhm.
we're just constant go, 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 go. And yeah, it's a really interesting thing. And it's sort of what made me start to take a little bit of pause, because specifically for those of you who are listening who know anything about human design, I'm a pure generator. So if you know anything about pure generators, we are constantly moving, constantly doing, constantly, constantly, constantly. And I had to really think to myself, man, I'm doing myself a disservice by never taking a pause and just stepping
Mhm.
back, right? And, trying to focus like on my body, like what is it telling me? How can I breathe and make that, take that moment of meditation to kind of take myself down. And so, I kind of digress off of our topic a little bit, but I can guarantee you that a lot of the reason that you and your husband are having problems with that acidity is because of the fact that we live in a very acidically driven space as far as what we're eating, what we're putting into our body in general.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Welcome to House U, where we believe in the power of education. At House U, we're more than just a brand. We're your partner in home ownership, dedicated to educating, equipping, and empowering you every step of the way. Education is at the heart of everything we do. We offer comprehensive resources designed to make home ownership simple and accessible for all. From understanding mortgage options to mastering home maintenance, House U provides the knowledge you need to make informed decisions with confidence. We host workshops and seminars, bringing together experts and community members to share insights and build a stronger, more informed community. Because when you're educated, you're empowered. House U, home ownership made simple for all. Visit our website or contact us today to start your journey with House U. Empower yourself with knowledge and embrace the joy of home ownership. Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience, whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge. Join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. Financial Mastery Simplified equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future, your life, your terms. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at Financial Mastery Simplified. Start your path to financial independence now.
Now, back to our conversation.
Yeah, the gut health is so important for people to realize that what you put in there can make a difference. And so my husband and I both cook from scratch as much as possible. Even when we travel, we watch what we eat because we know
Sure.
what's a good choice and what's a bad choice. And same thing for animals. What you feed them is, that causes their issues too. So when someone asks me whether it's for a human or for a pet, they got this going on. I'm like, okay, what are you eating? What are you feeding them? And the chemicals that are in prepackaged food
Oh yeah.
is not good. It's bad. It's bad. And so again, we're not perfect. Humans aren't perfect. Yes, we're going to have days that we eat a bag of chips or whatever. But if you can change your daily consumption of food, what you put into your body, it's going to help. It just may take a little while.
Right.
Because people think, oh, I can fix it right away. No, you can't fix it right away.
Right.
Back then, when I told you my husband and I would popping those Zantacs, we also had our kids were younger. We were doing baseball or football or cheerleading. There was work, kids activities. Let's, pick up some fast food, all those things. And it was like always on the go, always on the go. Don't be late, got to get your work done. All that stress factors too. And
Right.
so there was a lot going on. And so it's just things that you learn.
Well, and a lot of it is convenience, and you have to sort of teach yourself to make the other more better choices for you
Mhm.
convenient. Like you made the comment, right? Like I said, hey, I call myself out. Sometimes I'm lazy and I do just take the pill because it's
Yeah.
easier, right? Like it's right there in my bag, like I could just whatever. And like you said, you can change that with rollerballs, right? So it's again like even with me, like it's reshaping, like I already have the oils. Okay, now put them in a way that I can easily bring them with me, that I
Mhm.
then don't have the excuse, right? Like stripping away the excuses. Because I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, everything in life is hard. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, no matter what choice you're making, something is hard. So if you're eating junk food and then that causes you to potentially have either health issues or get overweight or whatever the case may be, that's hard, right? Maybe the
Mhm.
eating the junk wasn't hard, but the like health issues that come with it, that's a hard, right? If you're
Right.
shifting and you're doing the opposite, you're trying to eat healthier so that the health issues don't cause the problem. That's hard,
Mhm.
right? Like everything in life is just strictly a choice. Everything has a hard, if you will, right? I always say a good and bad consequence to any choice you make. You just have to decide what it is that you want. And in the money space, we put these ideas in our head that, oh well, I can't do that, it's going to cost me too much money, I'm
Mhm.
not going to do this because of whatever. And a lot of the times if we just literally step back and sat in it for a minute and we said to ourselves, okay, here's what this cost looks like, here's what this cost looks like, and we broke it out, it really wouldn't be that bad, or it would either be the
Right.
same cost or cheaper, but we just don't want to take the time. And so again, this is not a knock to anybody out there who's utilizing pills versus essential oils or vice
Right.
versa. It's just about stepping back and with anything in your life, thinking it through and asking yourself, okay, what's my hard? What
Mhm.
is the thing that what's the hard? And if whatever you're choosing right now does not seem hard, then you need to look at the end result, because that will be what the hard is.
Mhm.
Okay? Guaranteed. I mean, I talk about that all the time. Like, I'm in the financial space, the mortgage space specifically.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, they're like, well, I want to buy a house, but then they're not willing to potentially make the sacrifices necessary to get themselves to the level to be able to do that, right? To buy that house. And so it's like, okay, well, choose your hard. Do you want to keep paying rent forever and ever, right? And just throwing that money away? Like, so choose your hard, because it doesn't matter to me. Like, if you don't ever want a home, that's okay. I'm fine with that.
Right.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, why did Cindy not buy the house? Like, shame on her. Like, no, I truly don't care, right? Like, because I want you to get to wherever you want to be in life, not where I want you to be in life, but where you want to be in life. But just think it through. And I can't stress that enough. Like, if you've ever listened to any of the other episodes, you probably know that already about me. I am super passionate about people getting to where they want to be in life on their terms. And I think what's missing is the thought process from A to B. So I'm trying to help you fill in those gaps. Think about some of those thought processes, right? And I think Cindy is trying to do the exact same thing when it comes to the essential oil piece, because a lot of people just don't think that through. Like, wait, what? I can fix allergies with like essential
Yeah.
oils. I can take a pill that involves essential oils to fix my acid reflux. Like, wait, is that a thing? A lot of people don't even know. Like, they don't even know that that's a thing, right? So
Yeah.
here's your opportunity to know that it's a thing, guys. It's a thing.
There's all kinds of things to know. It's just, when I first started out in 2016, I had no idea the power and the
Yeah.
uses of all the oils. There's a lot. There's a lot. I can use it for this. I can use it for that. You can put the lemon into your water, and it tastes like lemon water, right? I did learn something fun. This is I when I first or I had the three oils, right? And the lady, my friend, said, "Oh, hey." add a drop or two of oil into your water bottle, and you'll be cleansing your system. You'll feel refreshed. It tastes good. So I did that one day, and I put the oils in a plastic water bottle. Okay. Within, I don't know how many minutes it passed, it started to taste nasty. And I'm like, what is going on? So I called her and like,
Plastic.
hey, what happened? She goes, oh my gosh, you're supposed to put it in a glass or stainless steel container, and you have to use a straw that's, stainless steel or glass, because the essential oil will break down that plastic, because the plastic is just, it's cheap. It's not meant to take that.
Right.
And I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah, but why would you know that? Right?
We wouldn't know that,
Like,
unless someone, always says, you have to tell them, when we were talking about putting oils into a glass, a real glass, not like paper cup, a little plastic, kitty cup. No, it has to be real glass. But it's just, that's the power, and it's not going to hurt you. You think, oh, it's going to deteriorate plastic, but it's not going to hurt us. It's just the strength of the oil, because one drop goes a long way. And I also learned in cooking with essential oils, I put a drop of oregano into my pasta sauce. And I went, oh my God, it's so strong. Oh no, you're supposed to get a toothpick, put it in a bottle, and then swish that around into your sauce. And it was perfect. That's how potent it was. And it was fun. I was like, lesson learned.
I mean, I don't think I've really played with all the things that I ordered or whatever as much as I really should. But it's so crazy. Well, and this is another thing that I will say from personal use, like kind of a little story. So my husband also has severe allergies, but his allergies are a little different than mine. So he's less allergic to like the things that grow outside. He's more sensitive to different kinds of perfumes and things like that they put into like oh goodness, like detergents and dryer sheets, stuff like that. He struggles with that big time. So I had to look for some solutions that would basically still allow us to utilize some of that kind of stuff without causing problems. So we use All Free and Clear, which is not necessarily my fave. There are some better alternatives. Like we actually have this thing that he doesn't like to use, but I think it's awesome. It's like it connects into your washer and your dryer. You pay a one-time cost. It's what NASA uses to wash clothes in space.
Oh, wow.
It neutralizes the odors and stuff like that, but it uses its ions, basically. It puts ions through the water that pulls out the stuff that causes smells and stains and stuff. It's very fascinating. And it does truly work. But my husband needs to believe that he's doing some good with soap or something. So I'll throw a little bit in there to like make him feel better. But I said all this to say that when we put the stuff in the dryer, we use wool balls. And
I do too.
if I want a little bit of a smell on it, I will actually add a drop or two of essential oil to the ball to give it something. Because a lot of people, they like the smell of that dryer sheet or whatever, right? And so they don't want their clothes to smell like nothing. And that's fine. So we do that. Sometimes we just use plain wool dryer balls. But what people don't think about there is think about how much money that saves you. Like, in fact, so when we at one point had our laundry done by an alternative party, like they came and like picked up the clothes and stuff, I had to explain this to them. I said, you cannot use dryer sheets. And she's like, okay, well then what do I use? And I was like, I'm happy to loan you some of our wool dryer balls. I said, in fact, you might want to consider using them with all of your clients. It will save you money. And she's like, well, how does that work? And I was explaining them to her, and she was like, really? I can use wool dryer balls and that will work as effectively as dryer sheets? And I said, absolutely, it 100% does. And she was like, wow, that's so cool. And a lot of people don't realize that. And they're not expensive. Like wool dryer balls are like $3 or $4.
I know, and you can use them for a long time.
Unless your dog picks them as a ball because it rolls out of the dryer and destroys it. Which I'm not saying that that's happened a time or two, but maybe.
I have to be fast if my dogs are watching me and the wool balls drop to the ground. I might quickly pick them up because they're like, "Ooh,
Oh
toy.
yeah, because they think that they're like, "Oh, like, that looks like kind of like a tennis ball, like, I'm taking that," and I'm like, "No, no, no." Or
Yeah.
sometimes it'll get caught up in the sheet, and we don't realize it's in the sheet until we, like, take to go put our sheets on the bed, and then like, "Oh
Yeah.
crap, there's a little dryer ball, I gotta take that back." We have just a little basket, and we have some dryer balls, and for those of you who want something that looks cute, they make wool dryer balls that are really cute, that have, like, shapes and colors. Like, I have some wool dryer balls that are purple, and I have ones that have little hearts on them. Yes, I'm a super nerd. And as we've discussed before in many other episodes, I have a shopping problem. That's what I have to learn to play tricks with myself and games with myself for that. But yes. But before we wrap up here, Cindy, is there any last minute things you'd like to say? Any kind of offers you'd like to give our guests who are listening? Things like that.
I just want to share with your audience is just be open minded, and if you're curious, which a lot of people are curious, I do have on my website a place where you could get a free 30-minute wellness consultation if you have questions. You're interested in what say you have what's going on, whether it's allergies or digestive issues or whatever the case may be. That's a good place to schedule an appointment, free 30-minute Zoom call. I do Zoom. Even though I live in West Texas, I Zoom all over the world, actually. My favorite place to visit is Australia. They're fun. But I'm here just to share and educate and answer those questions because I too had them. And you just never know unless you ask. No questions ever dumb. Probably the only thing I would say to anybody is, don't use the essential oils from the grocery store. I won't name any
Oh yeah.
names. Don't use those. Don't buy them from Amazon. Um, they're just, they're not guaranteed to be 100% not tampered with if they're a name brand. I won't name any names, but sometimes I have heard through my company that their products on Amazon have been filled. Just be careful. Reach out, ask
Yeah, for
questions.
sure.
And I said, no question is silly or dumb. It's a good question because you're curious, and curiosity is what got me. And Jax is the same way. What else can I learn to help myself feel better?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I will point out to those who are listening to, yeah, she's 100% right on that. You do need to be very careful about what kind of essential oils that you purchase only because they're not regulated by anybody. And so basically anybody can make whatever claims or say whatever
Mhm.
stuff they want. And so, you definitely want to utilize a brand that has some independent testing done, things like that, that
Mhm.
can kind of show you and prove to you that like, what you are putting in your body is actually good stuff and not just junk. Because for those of you who may have used essential oils in past and it didn't work for you, it may have been the essential oil quality that you were utilizing. Because I made that mistake early on utilizing some that were, yeah, like at a grocery store or something, and definitely did not have the potency. Stuff like that is probably fine if you wanted to do it maybe even like on the dryer balls because it's just like scenting something or whatever. But when you're talking about putting internally or like putting it on your skin, which is the largest organ that you've got, you definitely want to make sure that that's good stuff going in there. So that's a very, very fair point and something that we definitely hadn't discussed, but definitely should point out.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, it has been a blast. I'm sure you guys were like, okay, Jax got real passionate about some stuff we had no idea that she knew about health related things. And yeah, I guess I'm that kind of jokingly thing. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, that expression. So, but anyways, we definitely appreciate you taking a listen to Financial Mastery
Thank
Simplified.
you.
Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you found this helpful. Share it with a friend. And we look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Financial Mastery Simplified.